What is going on, guys? HappiDaze here, and in today's video we're just going to go over my Kizuna teams that I built for the 10-star bosses that are coming up. Apologies I haven't been able to get more videos out. As I mentioned earlier in the week, I was been pretty sick, so I'm just still catching up, but I want to get this video out. I know that the Kizuna goes live in a couple hours from now, so hopefully these teams will help you if you're just looking for some last-minute teams to get through. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and look at is the Dex team that we're facing here. It will be the third fight, and basically what they want you to do is bring either strikers, shooters, or powerhouse to take on this content. You will get a 95% HP cut on stage 2. You'll have a 5-turn rainbow shield you have to get rid of, and then you have a 10k burn that gets applied as well. So go ahead and get rid of that rainbow shield. We're going to go ahead and use the VV Rebecca unit down here, focused on Rebecca because she is a striker who's boosted in here, and she's also strength. She should have type advantage, which will help. In terms of taking care of the burn, we're going to go ahead and use the Whitebeard unit here from PKA, the Super Evolution that we got from the last event that we did there. And just with those two units and one of the aces, I should be able to go ahead and have enough damage to get through stage 2 pretty easily. On stage 3, the captain will actually take care of some of the buffs, but I still want Frankie here anyway. He'll take care of the resilience, and he'd also take care of the decreased chain multiplier as well. If Ace didn't take care of it, but he does. But I just wanted to throw an extra booster on there because I pulled them, and I just wanted to be able to get some more tickets so we can take on the 15-star bosses. And then for the final special that we'll end up using on stage 3, that will be the ulti special. And what she does is she helps reduce the damage threshold by... she only does 5 turns, so I do have the special on Ace over here. And the reason I do is that because with this unit here, he'll actually remove the bind by 3 and also remove the damage threshold by 3 at the start of the final battle. So we'll only have to actually remove 3 turns, and ulti being able to remove 5 is more than enough for us to be able to get through that and hopefully easy kill the boss. I do have support Jinbei on this Frankie here, just because he'll turn the right character column slots to recovery, right? You do get a debuff of 0.5 for type slots. So you want to just make sure that if you can, you're somehow, getting those to non-type slots. So he will have recovery there. And then I have the Odin on the Whitebeard, just make sure he gets a Wano Orb for the last stage. So I could actually, now that I think about it, I could probably swap out and move Rebecca to the right-hand side, and that way she'll get the recovery orb, and that way Whitebeard will still get the Wano orb. So you're guaranteed to have at least 4 out of the 6 have the non-type slot orbs, which will just help. So you can kind of play around this team, but that's generally what I'm thinking for the Dex fight here. Let's go ahead and move on to the second fight that you'll be facing here. So this will be against the strength team. So no surprise here, Odin is kind of the key to doing this team. I did manage to pull all 3 boosters, so, case of you got them, why not use them, right? So just a quick recap. So strength, dex, quick, get the charge time and the special gauge charged on here. So you want to make sure that you're bringing one of those 3 characters. You're going to go ahead and get a 9-turn bind for your top row on stage 2, which is always a pain. Type slot unfavorable, you get your slots to strength, and then you'll get resilience for 2 turns. So the good news here is because we have Frankie, he's going to help out a lot on this stage. So Frankie can help take care of 6 turns of bind. So with the sockets, it should go down from 9 to 6, and then Frankie will take care of the rest of that bind. He'll also take care of the resilience that's on that stage as well. And one of the great things is that if you hit 2 perfects in stage 2, or in the stage that you launch a special, in the next stage, he'll set the enemy's defense to 0. So that will help us immensely on stage 3 of this fight. I'm probably also going to use the Toki, one of the Odin specials, and maybe a super type, Luffy, and then finally Kinemon, because Kinemon will expend a bunch of the buffs. Toki will end up giving you a bonus for slashers for this round, and then also for the next round. So there's just a lot of damage output that you can do if you just stack all these buffs and then use the Kinemon character to extend them into the final stage there. When you get to the final stage, there's a bunch of NAO and immunity that's there. Like I said, there's a defense up for 1 million for 7 turns. So our the special of Frankie on the previous, on stage 2, will help us get rid of that. Because Frankie cuts your HP by 95%, I believe it is. We don't have to worry about that nasty 13 turn despair if you have above 50% HP when you get to that last stage. So luckily we can avoid that. And because we have Roger and Odin, not only are we able to turn the slots to Wano on stage 2, but they also have the ability, on their potential ability, to avoid slot bind. So that will help avoid that slot bind that you get on the last stage for 2 turns for your top row. And you get just a quick note, if you don't have someone like Frankie who can reduce the defense from a kind of a conditional, there is a debuff that will hit you if you try to use a defense down on stage 3 up here. So you just have to make sure that you are aware of that. You can't use any defense down on stage 3 against the strength boss. So let's go. That's our team that we're using for strength. Should be overkill. Like I said, all units are strong strength units, are all quick units that came out recently, and they all synergize as well. And I just threw the Luffy on there just because he's one of the more recent boosters, but if you have anyone else, the Luffy character really isn't doing much here. So let's go ahead and move on to the final team, which is the quick team. So similar to what we've talked about before, I want to try to use as many of the boosters as I can, and this is where the Zoro Sanji and also the Yamato work so well from the New Year's batch. So just a quick reminder, on stage 2, you are going to get a 150k death hit on a kill, which is terrible. And yeah, make sure you bring something to help you survive that damage. You get attacked down for 5 turns, you get increased damage 2 times for 2 turns, and then you get a rainbow shield for 2 turns. So we're going to go ahead and use probably my favorite unit for content, just because of the versatility of using either Nami or Karina. I'm going to go ahead and use Karina here. She'll help take care of a bunch of pretty much all those buffs on stage 2 in one unit, which is fantastic. I love this unit, both in PvP and in PvE. They are fantastic. So if you don't have them, I'm sorry. Try to get them. They really are awesome in content. On stage 3, what's going to happen is there's immunity again for 99 turns. Immunity KO, NAO immunity, and then all immunity except for defense down. So you can apply defense down, which makes sense because one of the boosters is Frankie, who lets you do the defense down. You do get a stun of your left column for 3 times of damage, type slots unfavorable, 7 turns of despair, 5-turn rainbow shield, and then you get your slots changed to type slots. So what we're going to go ahead and do on this last stage here is we're going to use the Frankie special. It'll cut the 95% HP, but that will remove the stun, which will help us out there. Then we'll use the Zoro Sanji special, and they will basically help us to get rid of a bunch of nasty buffs. They'll give us some chain boosts as well, and just make it a lot easier to go ahead and do damage. We could actually use one of the Zoro Sanjis on stage 2 if we wanted to. It's probably overkill to have them both for the final stage, so totally not needed if you don't need to. I am bringing around this Ace Sabo unit here, just really to help with the despair. So with the combination of sockets, what they do for despair, it should be pretty easy to get it around that 7 turns of despair that gets inflicted there. And then lastly, for the rainbow shield, we'll be using the Yamato unit from the New Year's Eve to help remove that rainbow shield on stage 3. So that should help us get through all the content pretty easily. Like I said, with the combination of the Sabo, the Yamato, and the Zoro Sanjis, who all have type advantage and will help boost the chains and do all this awesome stuff for us, it should be pretty easy and pretty straightforward to just kind of plow through the content. So this is what my teams look like for the 10-star bosses. I think the hardest one out of all 3 is probably that Dex Boss, just because there's a lot of different debuffs and there's not a lot of units who can kind of get through many of the debuffs easily, right? You sometimes have to find multiple units that do multiple things, which is kind of a pain. But overall, I don't think that the 10-star bosses are that difficult. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Like I said, if you want to go back and just look at what bosses we're using for what stages, go ahead. Good luck on your Kizuna grinding. Hopefully you're able to get skulls quickly and get out as quick as you can. But I wish you guys quick grinds, and until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.